Hello everybody, Richard Time here again. Welcome to the second of an 8-part series on how to beat, crush, whatever these super passive app games on PPPoker and other apps if you're playing in other clubs. If you're doing the right stuff game selecting, then hopefully the strategies that I'm going to be employing during this series will help you crush your games too. Please don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe. It really helps the videos do well, and I like to see my videos do well. Even though I don't monetize YouTube, I still like to see my videos getting numbers. It's quite gratifying to see videos getting like 300 plus views, so please do hit all of those things. We're playing on Pop Bombers, which is primarily an Australian union on PPPoker. I've been working with the Pop Bombers guys for a while now, 5 or 6 weeks. They are a fantastic bunch of people. Really good, well organised setup, super reliable. In the murky world of app poker, these guys are as well organised as anyone and better organised than most. So if you are looking for somewhere to play on these apps and you're scared of dipping your toe in the water, then I'm a super solid, reliable guy. The Pop Bombers guys are super reliable, solid guys. And I think we're as good a bet as any to put your faith in terms of like being able to get you into good games, in terms of keeping your money safe. So yeah, if you've been looking to get into these games and at any point during the video you think fuck it, let's give it a go, then you can contact me via the links beneath the video and by the details beneath my video, or on Pokerbit's channel. I'm presuming he's going to have ways to connect beneath his videos too. So getting in touch with us is really easy. Getting set up is really easy, and yeah, it might be one of the best decisions you make all year in terms of your poker life. Just flatting here with the King Queen. We didn't do much flatting at all in the first video. We're not planning on doing much flatting in future videos either, but I think in this exact situation, I think it's probably fine. He checks here, which means he's going for a check raise, or he's just not c-betting ace-x. He c-bets 42%, so he doesn't c-bet a lot in general, so we're going to go with like a delayed bet. If he checks again, then we're just going to start betting twice. So now I'm pretty confident he just has like an ace-x type hand, so he's going to bet twice to get him off that. I don't think one bet's going to be enough. We're going to have to fire 2, but 1 was enough, so that's fine. The Maniac, opening from the cutoff here. We don't really have the odds to like set. Well, we do have good odds to set man, but I'd rather have more chips. But given this guy's come along too, then it makes it a super trivial call. Sadly, the flop hasn't helped. The turn hasn't helped. So our set mind hasn't worked out this time. This guy should just bet any 2 on this turn, given the action so far. Jack 9 off would be a mandatory steal in many games, but we've got like a whale in the small blind who probably is calling really wide, and then we're going to be left with just Jack 9 off and shallow stacks post flop, which doesn't create a particularly good situation for us. I actually don't like this table very much. We've got like a decent regular in the big blind. Now we've got like a loose aggro player, and then the 3 fish, they have not a lot of money. They have a full buy-in between them, so I think we'll maybe leave this table in a moment and fire a different one up. We can just do far better than this table. The minute I start getting like negative feelings about a table, it's usually a good time to just quit it. We can certainly do a lot better than this table. Just just noticed that one of the whales has quit here, leaving us with just one whale at this table and like a loose passive guy here. Well, this guy's giving action at the moment, so stick around to see if we can't be the guys to felt him. He will lose all his stack during this video if we stay at this table for the whole video. Let's just hope we're the guy that relieves him of it. That is disappointing, we didn't get off this table. Now we have to play another orbit. Yeah, we're certainly going to be coming off this table in a moment. Two pretty aggressive players here and one super loose passive fish. 5-4-5. Trivially easy c-bet. Sadly we just take it down without much resistance, which wasn't what we were hoping for. I'll probably make the next two videos for this series tomorrow afternoon. I think we'll try and fire an afternoon session out, because I mean these games, whenever you play them, they're good, but they're especially good in the afternoons. I think I need to tailor my afternoon grind to this particular club and morning grind perhaps to quad miners, and my late night grind to the apps that have a high volume of US players. That's how we need to be tailoring it. Last hand at this table coming up. Has it been worth waiting for? Yes, is the answer to that question. SPR now of about 6. So I don't see many ways which we bet and fold. I'm just going to size up on this turn, and if it jams, expect to be behind but be forced to call it off on a board as dynamic as this. Pretty crummy river. Just a half pot jam though, isn't it, that we need to make. And he played ace queen about as passively as he could. And we got, well, we didn't get felted, but didn't turn out well for us. That's pretty annoying. This guy c-bets 80%. So we could have, what a turn. My poker life has just been so damn frustrating lately because we just can't falter this guy. He's like, can we fold this turn? Can we fold this exact turn? The fact he raised pre normally does a lot of limping. But why is C-bet so high actually? Because his PFR is so low. I don't know. But yeah, this last video and now this one in the early stages is pretty much before we go on the morn, let's get the squeeze in. It's pretty much summed up how my poker's been going lately, which is why I'm making these videos, to try and like retrain myself, recalibrate myself. I'm just running into top of range everywhere, which is why I was thinking maybe it was like myself being in too many multi-way pots and then running into top of someone's range in a multi-way pot. But yeah, lately it's just been, I've been running bad in terms of like getting it in. Well, I've been a little bit running bad in terms of getting it in good and coming out bad. But also just in terms of like when I've been in my range versus where my opponents have been in their range and their stack depths that have dictated certain things. Like that there. With the ace queen, he didn't 3-bet pre-flop and then he just like check called top pair top kicker 3 times with an SPR of 6, which, you know, I mean, we'd have got the money anyway. I mean, if it had check raised a flop, we'd have just, you'd have got all the money. It's just annoying that when you think you've got the best hand and you make a thin value bet and then they turn up with one of the only hands that beats you with the line that they took. Yeah, it's irritating. But you have to battle on, you know. If poker was easy and the best hand held up all the time or whatever, right, okay. As you say, we played that previously, so it's just put our previous stack there. And then everyone would be doing it, everybody would be winning. It's much more of a test of your mental strength playing in these apps than it is a test of your poker ability. Because I feel I've been playing reasonably well and getting like no reward for that for like a week or so now. But that's just the way it is. If you're going to get all like entitlement, hate losing, all that, the shitty little bits of tilt, like the accumulated tilt, if all those things are going to happen, then all that's going to do is just extend your break-even stretch or downswing, which is what I'm currently... it's not a downswing because I've not lost a lot of money. I've just not made money, so when I'm like breaking even for 2 weeks, and this is a little bit entitled what I'm about to say, it does feel like a downswing almost. You're like, oh well, maybe, you know, I expect to make 6-7 buy-ins a week in my various games I play, and I'm probably down maybe 4 buy-ins over the last 10 days. And you're like, that feels like a 14 buy-in downswing, even though it isn't. It's just like 4 buy-ins or whatever. It feels worse than it actually is, and that is certainly a it's not entitlement tilt because it's not affecting my play, but it's entitlement something or other. But who knows? You know, maybe in the next 3 days we just crush and make 20 buy-ins, and all of a sudden we feel like we're the best player in the world again. Jack Queen. What are we going to do here with Jack Queen? We want to play because of this guy. We don't want to play because of this guy. This guy hasn't got enough money, so we're just going to do the fold. Now, our hand is not doing well against him. It's probably doing quite well against him, but given he's got like 150 blinds deep against us and that guy's just 50 blinds deep, it's not enough reason, in my opinion, to play out of position against somebody who's going to play pretty well. Why are we even in this pot? Was one of these guys sitting out before the flop? Do we have a straddle and then a regular? Oh no, not really a regular. There's isolated versus that straddle, but it's only isolated to 6x, so we're going to try and see a flop. This dude just donks in. We're done with it with our pocket sevens. I'm not going with our 4x given that in the blinds here we don't have two whales, so we are 4xing primarily in these games, but when the players behind us don't warrant the 4x open, we're not going to be making it. We are going to be going with the 5x ISO here with the pocket fives, hoping to achieve isolation, but we'll see. We certainly do isolate. We isolate ourselves against everybody. For those who followed my challenge, my PLO adventures earlier in the month, we haven't really recovered since then in terms of like rebuilding the bankroll. We've had like, it's been like and my bankroll's pretty much where it was at the end of the PLO misadventures. And we got back up. I think we, at the end of the PLO adventures, I think we had like a bankroll of around $1,000 across the 3 sites. We're just over $1,000 now, but not by much, virtually breaking even. And I'm not sure how long, many weeks. It's been at least 2 weeks. So we've had 2 weeks of breaking even in this club. My other clubs have gone a little bit better, but not anything at all to write home about. We've been min 3-bet by a 57/8, which is terrifying. But given it's a min 3-bet, we're going nowhere. I'm just going to hope to smash the granny out of the flop. We do not hit the flop. Not that you expect to hit the flop too often with the king jack off. Maybe it's been better that we have missed the flop, because if we'd made a pair, we'd have probably had to stack off and be in rough shape. Pocket sevens. Okay then. If we could keep getting kings delivered to table 2, that'd help a lot. We got kings delivered on the last table to table 2. Against this guy, we're going to start with a check call, I think. And we're going to check again, but we're not planning on folding at any point now. And I guess we're just going to value bet the river smallish. Just hope to get caught by like any pair, which it seemed we did. Limps are going to ISO. If he then limp shoves, we're going to call. If he raises, we're going to 3-bet. straddle here now. Easiest race of my life. Hopefully he'll go all in. Nope, he just folds. This table isn't looking too good anymore with this dude because he now only has like 25 blinds left. And it looks like a reasonably tough lineup apart from him. So maybe we just like don't worry about fighting over his remaining stack and we just find a better table. In fact, that's what we're going to do. Here we're going to isolate with the 10-9 suited. We got here 657 VPIP with a fat stack. No money. Yeah. I think we can do better. Concentrate on the jacks for just a moment. This is much better. Oh, I'm already at the table. There you go. Proof that you can't join the same table as yourself, though, as you saw right there. Didn't notice myself at the table. Tried to join, and it instantly gave me the bum's rush, as it absolutely should. What do we have here? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, we'll treat ourselves to a little piece of this. 56-13 and a... Are they both 55-13 and a 56-13? You love to see it. Right. Let's concentrate on this king-queen. We have a regular who's isolated a limper and has been caught by a whale. That says one thing to me. Raise it up. Same story here. Trivial call. Off to the races. Over some dead money. Not remotely interested in. Running that twice for that money. I think we just bet here and probably call it off versus him and fold versus him. It's not a nice situation. But we're getting a ridiculous price now, and he doesn't have to have an ace. In fact, he doesn't have an ace. He wants to run it twice, and I'm willing to. We instantly get there on the first run. And we delayed to get there on the second run. And finally getting some run good in this goddamn series. It really isn't difficult to get value in these games. The frustration of these games is being unable to get folds, as is demonstrated there with the 2 8s. I mean, luckily we got there twice, but yeah, it's very much a showdown, value-heavy game, and that's a strategy that we're trying to demonstrate in these videos, but not bluffing as much because, as you've seen already, bluffing just isn't very effective. If someone's like peeling 8s, then calling again there, despite being good. Right, anyways, rabbiting too much. 44/9. Limp call pre, check call flop. Oh, what am I fucking tanking? It's just a call, isn't it? And if we beat, we beat. And we were beat. We just bet half pot on the river. I don't know why I took so long over that, but because I was yapping. No, if you do go on a bit of a run and catch some cards, you can like win 3 or 4 stacks in very, very short order in these clubs. But the key is, you know, you do need to make hands. You cannot run these games over. That isn't what happens. You just need to get in there with solid hands. Make sure you value betting well. Make sure you're choosing the correct hands when you're semi-bluffing. Hands that have equity rather than air. And then just all about the variance train. We have 2 overs, backdoor everything. So this is definitely a board where we're going to see bet. And then we're going to barrel turns that improve our equity if needs be. No need on that occasion. So that's a reasonable c-bet. If we didn't have like the backdoor spades there, it would have been a much less reasonable c-bet, I think. But we had 2 overcards. We had backdoor spades and backdoor nut straight draw. So they're the kind of bluffs you want to be having in these games. If you are going to be bluffing like flops that kind of pretty good for your opponent's range, they're the kind of hands you want to have. You don't want to be having king queen on these type of boards because we only have like just 2 overcards. We don't need to bluff here because we maybe just even have showdown value against stuff like, I don't know, jack 10, queen jack, all those types of things. I mean, maybe we just check down and win this hand. I mean, we didn't on this occasion, but yeah, you're going to need to be. I mean, I think my c-bet in these games is probably going to only be around 40%, and I think that's about all it can be, really, in terms of like, think how often you have a value hand, maybe 30% of the time. You know, you flop a pair, 30% apparently. So sometimes you're going to have overpair, sometimes you're going to flop pairs that aren't the best hand. So maybe 30% like c-bet values, 10% bluffs, and then the rest of the time it's just going to be like give up. It's not. It doesn't feel like you're playing good poker, but you're playing good poker for these games because just like firing bluff after bluff after bluff into people that aren't that into folding the middle and bottom parts of their range, it's not a good long-term strategy. It's not going to win you the most money, and it's going to massively challenge your mental strength. So you just got to, you haven't got as many tools to use, but the tools that you do have to use are like remarkably effective. It's a bit like saying Doyle like I fucking know him. A bit like Doyle Brunson said in like the Super System, or maybe Super System 2. You know, against these guys, sometimes you just have a pick and shovel. It's all you've got. You know, you just need to show them the best hand time and time again, because you just can't bluff bad players. It's just when you can bluff them occasionally. To say you can't bluff them is wrong, but they don't fold at a high enough frequency to use a strategy against them that involves a lot of bluffing. And that's good, as long as you adjust correctly and don't get frustrated and just have a plan, stick to it. When things aren't going your way, stick to it still. And don't deviate because you're like, oh, fucking hell, this isn't working. I need to do something different. No, you don't. You're playing against bad, passive players who don't fold as much as you'd like them to. So bluffing or choosing like hands that have low equity when called as your bluffs is not the way to go. And sometimes you just got to accept that, you know, people are going to win with hands that you maybe, sometimes you're going to get to showdown, they're going to have something like, fucking hell, I could have made them fold that, and, you know, in all likelihood, there's going to be some times when that is true, but they're also going to get to the river with bottom pair and second pair a lot, and you think, fuck, I could have made them fold that, and then that's absolutely not true, because lots of players just love to hit the call button, which is what makes having a very value-heavy strategy against them so effective. And that's not the greatest of rivers. Some 2 pairs do get there. The gut shot gets there. And it's too thin to bet. It's too thin to bet. It doesn't call like... He doesn't have a worse king. It's harder to have a worse king than we have there. I think it's just too thin. I think we had like a decent kicker. It would have been a slam dunk value bet, but we didn't. We just had the king kicker, the 6 kicker. This table's looking very shabby now. So we're going to be off it. We're going to play our button and then leave. Where are we off to next? See if we can find a bit of 60. Needs to be a good table, of course, but see, only one player catching my eye there. One player. Yeah, no, he's going. That's the table we just left earlier, isn't it? I think. So he hasn't gone broke yet, but he's on his way. This looks a little bit more like it. This dude hasn't got any money, but playing four-handed with 2 very clear and obvious losing players is absolutely the sort of situation I enjoy creating for myself. Let's play a snap limps under the gun. Isolate the ace-8 suited. Flop trip 8. Please donk. Boo. Tried to tone down my swearing in this video, a little in this series so far. I mean, there's still going to be some. Don't think I've dropped a C-bomb yet. I got a comment from someone, albeit tongue-in-cheek, that his granny wasn't too impressed with my description of Howard Lederer because it involved a C-bomb. And I don't want to be upsetting anyone's granny. So yeah, if we do have any grandmas in the channel that don't like C-bombs, then maybe it's not the channel for you. But if it is a channel for you, then try not to C-bomb too often, and please accept my apologies in advance for any C-bombs that do come out that I then do not subsequently apologise for, because I'm not used to saying it that it's just second nature to me. Reminds me of an old Frankie Boyle joke where he says, like, people in Scotland, when they say fucking, it's just a warning that a noun is about to follow. That's pretty much how my language goes. I say fucking now like the, at, is, etc. It's just a very easy word for me to use. We flopped really well here in turn. We're going to be behind to a lot of these players at the moment, but with 2 overcards, flush draw against this lot. The only thing to do is to be raised. I think we just jam here to just fold this guy out. And then we'll just run it against this guy, hopefully. with the big ISO here. Hopefully just take it down pre. If we don't, then hopefully just get heads up against one opponent. Happy to run it twice. We get there on the second run. We crushed over here. Yeah, it was crushed as crushed gets. But we'll take it in like such a relatively small pot. We'll not happy to be crushed there, but we're not devastated to be crushed. Give a careful view of the time because I'm due to work very shortly, but we do have time. Oh crikey, didn't realise that much time had flown in. Yeah, I am working in various places this afternoon. I've managed to get myself a 7-hour day from somewhere in terms of my non-poker related work to do, which is bad planning for me in terms of like my time management, but I'm going to be seeing a lot of people who mean a lot to me, so it's going to be nice. I'm going to be seeing someone this afternoon I haven't seen since the start of lockdown, so that's going to be really nice. Me and the guy I'm going to see, we have a really beautiful relationship. I've known him now, I've been supporting him for 4 and a bit years, and it's been really difficult not seeing him. We have like a really strong bond. Yeah, so I'm really looking forward to going and spending some time with him this afternoon. Won't be able to hug him, which is unfortunate. He's a very huggy guy. I'm a huggy guy. Won't be able to do that. That's going to be tough because we always used to have some really nice, heartwarming hugs. That's not going to happen today. Won't even be able to fist bump him. But yeah, it's going to be nice to see him anyway and spend some time with him. Hopefully do something nice. I'm just going to let the ace-10 go against this stack depth. I was about to say trivial jam any flop, but not this one. We just got it too crushed. Now we just have to bet the turn. We're going to re-race to isolate this dude. And we beat the Queen 3 that limp called 5x pre there, which is nice. Looks like we're not going to get there with the ace queen, which is unfortunate, but yeah, it's no big deal for 10 bigs or whatever that was. So we're going to start the getting ready to sit out procedure at all of our tables, and then we'll see how we've done over these first 2 videos in terms of our results. We started with a roll of there's 337 on each account anyway, so whatever that is. 1011 is it? I'm not sure. $1,011, yeah. So we'll see what we've gone up to at the end of it. Last hand at this table, last hand at this table coming up. Get dealt a doozy over here. And get dealt nothing over here. And it's not a board that I'm going to be c-betting. We have 2 overcards and a backdoor flush draw. But I think I'd rather check call smallish bets here than bet. I mean, if he bets like half pot, we have to call. But if he bets full pot, we'll probably fold. And now we're pretty much done with the hand. We're not calling any bets now. And there we go. So we'll pause the video and we'll do the tally. So this is the state of the bankroll after those 2 videos. We had 337 on each account when we started. So we definitely made some money. Not a lot maybe, but made some. What is that number going to be divided by 3? So we've made $26 it looks like. We've made $12 on each account. Does that make sense? No, we haven't made $12. We made $8 on each account. But we'll take it. Because we ran good in parts, ran bad in parts. It is what it is. But it's a good start. I think I got the message across that I wanted to get across. Hopefully you guys got something from it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's going to be 6 more of these, at least. If they do well, if the videos are popular, they get decent views, decent likes, we may well just continue along the same lines. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed it. Stay well, stay safe, be lucky, be kind to yourself. And yeah, we're back in a couple of days with the next video of this series. Take care everybody, and bye bye for now.